Access granted.
One of the commodities available in the internet is the exploitation of children. Cybersex trafficking is a modern-day form of slavery. They are able to demand the type of sexual abuse that they would want to see on camera. With $100, I can get kids that are under 5 years old to be abused by an older person. All the children out there victimized by this menace. They're coming to get you. One case at a time, cybersex trafficking will come to an end. The only question is when.
Cybersex is a crime punishable under Republic Act No. 10175 or also known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Cybersex is defined in Chapter 2, Section 4 of the Republic Act No. 10175 as the willful engagement, maintenance, control or operation, directly or indirectly, of any lascivious exhibition of sexual organs or sexual activity with the aid of a computer system for favor or consideration. RA 10175 was signed into law by President Benigno Aquino III on September 12, 2012. This law governs crimes not just the cybersex, but also other cybercrime offenses like those that are considered as an offense against the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer data and systems. Examples are illegal access, illegal interceptions, and data interference. Also, crimes that are computer-related offenses like computer-related forgery, computer-related fraud, and computer-related identity theft. And also, those crimes that are content-related offenses, in which includes cybersex, child pornography, unsolicited commercial communications, and libel. This time, we're going to focus on one of the offenses in RA 10175, which is the cybersex. With the internet rapidly becoming one of the most used tools in the world, it seems only an easy and curiosity-driven progression that relationships arousal is experienced via technology.
Any person found guilty of cybersex shall be punished with imprisonment of prisión mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos but not exceeding 1 million pesos or both. Cybersex involving a child shall be punished in accordance with the provision on child pornography of the Act, where the maintenance, control, or operation of cybersex likewise constitutes an offense punishable under Republic Act No. 9208. As amended, a prosecution under the Act shall be without prejudice to any liability for violation of any provision of the revised penal code, as amended, or special laws, including RA No. 9208. The Philippines consecutively topping the world in terms of social media use. There is a lot of room for users to engage in cybersex behind closed doors and in front of a webcam. The Philippines has been dubbed by the United Nations Children's Fund or the UNICEF as the global epicenter of the live stream sexual abuse trade. Between March and May of this year, the Philippine government recorded hundreds of thousands of cases of online sex abuse. Cybersex trafficking tips to the Philippine Department of Justice Office of Cybercrime increased 264% from the same period last year. In cybersex dens, the workers are usually forced to do such work and may even be confined or detained. But there have also been instances where the workers do it voluntarily. Clients pay to have cybersex workers perform sexually explicit acts over the internet. Operators usually maintain a website where potential clients can look at the profiles of the cybersex workers. After the client has chosen a profile, he enters a private chat room with the worker. The client then types out his instructions, ranging from mundane acts like eating or just talking, to more lascivious acts such as strip-teasing or simulated sex. The client pays on a per-minute basis via credit card or online remittance.
Cybersex under RA 10175 is defined as showing of sexual organs or engaging in any sexual acts through a computer medium in the cyberspace. The engagement, management, operation, or control of this illegal act may or may not be willful and may be indirect or direct. Other laws that is applicable to illegal act cybersex is the RA 9208 or Anti-Trafficking in Person Act of 2003 or RA 10364 or the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Person Act of 2012, which amended the RA 9208. These laws are only applicable if the cybersex worker first was harbored, recruited, or transported without his or her knowledge and consent within across national borders. Second, if the worker is being coerced, forced, abducted, entreated, or is experiencing other forms of coercion such as fraud or deception. And third, the purpose of trafficking is exploitation, prostitution, forced labor, slavery, and other purposes.
Cybersex is in the form of two people communicating using a webcam and a microphone on social media platforms. It involves sexual activities between one and more than one person. And we all know that it has a lot of disadvantages. One of it is that the social effects of cybersex influence not only the individuals who are engaged in it, but also their partners and children. The children and partners of people who engage in cybersex become socially and psychologically affected, and they even need a therapy. That recreational and pathological users of cybersex develop habits that affect their children and families. Moreover, while it does not involve physical contact, critics claim that the powerful emotions involved in cybersex can cause marital stress, especially when cybersex culminates in an internet romance. Internet adultery became the grounds for which a couple divorced in several known cases.
And the other disadvantages of cybersex is exposure to cyberporn, which is not good because they turns into addict and may affect their health. And second is the atmosphere of emotional trauma. They are ashamed of themselves and feeling lonely, or worse is to attempt suicide.
Cybersex can also promote compulsive sexual behavior. So they tend to express cognitive and emotional symptoms like obsessive thoughts about sex. And lastly, cybersex can lead to process addiction, which means that people become addicted to a set of behaviors.
So let's proceed to the tips in order to prevent cybersex. First, put your computer or laptop in an open area of your home. This is where people in your home can mingle or often walk by that area. Never let your children isolate himself. in his or her room with the computer. Check your children's history on the computer. If you find out that your teen is viewing pornography, find out if there is a long-standing pattern of usage and sit down and have a conversation with him about the signs of addiction and the consequences of usage. If your children has a problem that deals with pornography addiction, bring it to the counselor or therapist. If your children has a problem, find a trained therapist who can help. The longer the addiction continues, the more difficult the recovery is. We know the fact that most individuals can't break the addiction without help. Don't trivialize or minimize the problems and somehow hope that the problem will go away on its own.
Avoid sending inappropriated videos and having sex conversations to anyone. Talk other topics such as education. Parents should discuss the consequences to their children of becoming addicted to pornography. Do not open anonymous websites and sources.
Spread educational awareness about cybersex. Educate children and teenagers about potential dangers of encountering sexual predators online. Use an application that helps you block pornography sites and other adult content.
Let's
Prevent
cybersex.